What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Appetizer. As always, I'm Jalen Russell, and today we're talking about the Indiana Pacers. They finished out 39-43 last year, good enough for 9th in the Eastern Conference without Paul George, which really isn't bad for this team. They were built around him clearly, especially with Lance Stevenson leaving in free agency last year. And they just kind of scrapped together a scrappy team last year after they figured out he wasn't going to be able to play with that knee injury, and just kind of won games. They stayed in contention in part due to the good play by George Hill at the point guard position and also David West at the power forward position. But they also had a lot of contributions from guys like C.J. Miles and Donald Sloan off the bench as well. So last year, during most of the year, they had these two giant holes at shooting guard and small forward. And with Paul George coming back, he can fill the small forward position. And they went out and got Monte Ellis to fill the shooting guard position through free agency this year. But unfortunately, while they were doing that, they let David West, Roy Hibbert, Luis Scola, and Chris Copeland all walk out the back door in free agency. So now they went from having a giant gap at shooting guard and small forward to having an even bigger gap at power forward and center. Now they did a little bit to fill that gap through the draft. They got Miles Turner, who's a really good player. Especially he shined at Texas throughout the season last year. He's a rim protector, and he can play the 4 or 5, and he can stretch the floor as well with his shot. But he can only play one position at a time. Other than that, they have Rakeem Christmas that they also picked up in the draft. He might need a little bit of time just to kind of get accustomed to the league. Lavoy Allen's already on their roster. He could play power forward for them as well. They still have Ian Mahimi as well as a backup center. Now, I think that the way that David West left, taking only the veteran minimum, just over $1 million, to go to San Antonio, A, to chase rings, but B, he was upset about the way that the team treated Roy Hibbert, doesn't seem to be a good sign for the team. I think if anyone has any kind of front office issues or any kind of money issues like that, or just kind of not communicating with the players well, it tends to kind of fall over into the year. Also, like I said, their gaps at power forward and center are pretty big issues for me, especially with Jordan Hill getting arrested. Who knows how many games he's going to have to miss because of a suspension during the year. So I think these guys are going to end up falling to 10th in the Eastern Conference, even though they'll have a slightly better record than they did last year. They'll be 40-42, but tied for 10th in the Eastern Conference. Paul George will have a pretty good year, but he's going to be recovering from that injury, so he'll need a little bit of time just to get back into the swing of things. That's all I have for you guys on the Pacers. Thanks a lot.